I will try to introduce two more important terms. Okay. One is instantaneous velocity, another one is instantaneous speed. Instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed. Okay. First, let me spend few minutes on instantaneous velocity. Okay. The average velocity tells us how fast an object has been moving over a given time interval, but does not tell us how fast body moves at different instants of time during that interval. So, that is the reason why we define instantaneous velocity. Let me repeat. Average velocity we have discussed in the last class. Average velocity tells us how fast an object has been moving over a given time interval, but does not tell us how fast it moves at different instants of time during that interval. To know that, we must go for this term, that is namely instantaneous velocity. So, I will discuss instantaneous speed later after discussing instantaneous velocity. Okay. So, this instantaneous velocity is defined as, it is denoted by letter V, it is defined as the limit of the average velocity as the time interval becomes infinitesimally small. In other words, instantaneous velocity is defined as the limit of the average velocity as the time interval approaches 0. I can write mathematically like this: V instantaneous velocity equal to limit delta t tends to 0, limit of average velocity, that is V bar. V bar is nothing but, you all know, delta x divided by delta t. V instantaneous velocity is defined as limit of the average velocity as the time interval approaches 0 or as the time interval becomes infinitesimally small. So, the term limit delta t tends to 0 refers to you are taking the limit with time interval approaching 0 of the quantity on its right, that is limit delta t tends to 0 means you are taking the limit of this quantity with time interval approaches 0. Or in the language of calculus, the right hand side of this equation, that is limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t is nothing but dx divided by dt. What is this dx by dt? Dx by dt is nothing but differential coefficient of x with respect to time or with respect to t, that is dx by dt. So, for this you can refer the appendix. Okay. So, at the end of the chapter motion in a straight line, okay, there are 4 pages, okay, appendix, okay, elements of calculus, differential calculus and integral calculus. You can refer that, please go through, okay, only 4 pages you can read. And actually about this you are going to study, okay, in a great detail in other subject, namely mathematics. Okay. So, we are not going to discuss in detail, but in the language of calculus, limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t is nothing but dx by dt or a differential coefficient of x with respect to t or differentiation of x with respect to t. Now v equal to dx by dt, v equal to dx by dt, that is instantaneous velocity is nothing but rate of change of position with respect to time at that instant. Okay. This is x is position, you all know, dx by dt we call it as rate of change of position with respect to time at that instant is nothing but the instantaneous velocity at that instant. As the name suggests, instantaneous velocity, velocity of the body at a particular instant. Actually, that is the meaning of this, just meaning, this is how we define. What is instantaneous velocity? Velocity at a particular instant in a given time interval, all right. Okay. So, no doubt it is a vector quantity because it is velocity, okay, vector quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Okay. And using this equation, we can calculate instantaneous velocity. So, there are two methods, one is graphical method, another one is numerical method. Okay, graphically if you use this equation or if you use this idea, time interval becoming smaller and smaller and it is approaching 0. Okay, in the last class, at the end of the class, we have discussed a situation where car moves on a straight road, it picks up its speed, okay, it starts from rest. Say from rest at t equal to 0, it was at origin, it starts from origin from rest and it picks up its speed till 10 seconds, that is enough for me, okay, only that much I am going to discuss here. Okay. So, the full situation we discussed. Okay, now let me write the position time graph, okay, position time graph. For that, okay, so this is position time graph, x in meter, time in second. Okay. So, car picks up its speed, okay, car picks up its speed till 10 seconds. So, this is 0.5, this is 1, this is 1.5, this is 2, okay. So, this is 2.5, okay, this is 3 seconds, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5 seconds. Okay. So, position, you give some values, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 in meters. Okay. So, till 10 seconds it picks up its speed. Okay. So, I will write the graph like this. Okay. You all know, okay, it picks up its speed. Okay. Now, I am going to calculate the instantaneous velocity, okay, at t equal to 4 seconds. Fine, t equal to 4 seconds. So, now I am going to consider delta t, the time interval length, initially 2 seconds, then I am going to decrease the time interval length 2 seconds to 1 second. Okay. So, the time interval length is 2 seconds centered at t equal to 4 seconds, means 2 seconds means 1 second, okay, that is 5. So, 1 second previous, that is 3. Okay. So, this is initial position, say P1. So, this is final position P2. Okay, this corresponds to 5, this corresponds to 3. So, time interval length is 2 seconds centered at 4 seconds, t equal to 4 seconds. We want to know the instantaneous velocity at t equal to 4 seconds. Fine. Now, you all know the average velocity is nothing but the slope of the straight line joining the initial and the final positions. Okay. So, this is a curve, this is not a straight line. Now, let me join the initial and the final point like this. Okay. So, this is initial point, this is final point. If I calculate the slope of this straight line joining initial and final position P1 and P2, that will give you the average velocity over the interval, okay, 3 to 5 seconds. Okay. That is delta t equal to 2 seconds. Okay, now what you have to do? You have to decrease the time interval length from 2 seconds to 1 second centered at 4 seconds. That is from 3.5 to 4.5. So, this will be the initial point. If I reduce the time interval length from 2 seconds to 1 second, okay, this will be the final position, say Q2. Now, what I have to do? I will calculate the average velocity over this interval of length 1 second centered at 4 seconds. So, let me join these 2 points Q1 and Q2 by a straight line, and slope, you all know, last class we discussed, okay, in a position time graph, okay, the slope of the straight line joining the final and the initial point will gives you the magnitude or the value of average velocity over that interval. Therefore, the slope of Q1 Q2 will gives you the average velocity over this time interval, that is 1 second centered at 4 seconds. Okay, interval length is 1, initially interval length was 2 seconds, interval length became 1. Now, our idea is to decrease the time interval length, that is all about this term, limit delta t tending to 0. The time interval length is becoming smaller and smaller, it is becoming 0, correct. Okay, delta t tending to 0, 2 seconds, 1 second. Similarly, if you decrease the time interval length further, so it is very difficult to show in this diagram or in graphical method, it is difficult to show the limiting process of delta t tending to 0. Just I have shown from 2 seconds to 1 second. Similarly, if you carry the procedure, okay. So, what you will get? You will arrive at this point of time interval very small, okay, and the line becomes T1 and T2. Say this T1 and T2 is nothing but the tangent drawn to the position time curve or position time graph at t equal to 4 seconds. This is all about the idea, okay. So, joining, okay, initial and final position, okay, you will get a straight line, that is average velocity over this interval. Again, okay, time interval length reduced. Finally, where you will be as the time interval delta t tending to 0 means you will limit here, and the straight line, these two, okay, earlier was this, then this one, and finally the instantaneous velocity at t equal to 4 seconds is nothing but the slope of the tangent drawn to the position time curve at that instant. Okay. So, this is how actually we calculate the instantaneous velocity at any point in the entire situation. If you want the instantaneous velocity at this point, what you have to do? You have to draw a tangent at this point, okay, then take the slope of the tangent. Okay. So, that is nothing but the instantaneous velocity at that instant. As I already mentioned, this is not a convenient method, graphical method indeed is not a convenient method to show or to see the limiting process. Instead, if you go for a numerical method, so the limiting process, okay, could be seen very easily. But for that, for numerical method, all you need is you must have the exact expression of the position with respect to time. How exactly position changes with time? You need to have the expression, exact expression for x with the time. That is, you must have x equal to some function in terms of t, because x varies with time, position changes with time. If you have the exact expression, okay, only then you can go for numerical method. In that method, so the limiting process, okay, this limiting process could be seen very easily. Okay, that is actually given in your NCERT book, you can go through. Okay. So, there is a table, okay, there is a table, they have taken a exact expression how x varies with time for the same situation, and they have calculated, okay, delta x by delta t with delta t tending to 0. What they did? okay, they have taken an expression for x, okay, x in terms of t. Then they have, okay, calculated delta x by delta t for different delta t's, that is different time interval, first 2 seconds, okay, then reduced to 1 second, then 0.5 second, then 0.1 second, then 0.01 second. So, see here, delta t is approaching 0, 2 second, 1 second, 0.5 second, 0.1 second, 0.01 second. Please note, centered at t equal to 4 second. What we did graphically, you all, I think you are all very familiar with that. This time interval must be centered at 4 second, 2 second gap, 1 second gap, 0.5, 0.1, 0.01. In that table, you are going to see in the last column delta x by delta t, okay, approaches a limiting value, say some value, some meter per second, when delta t becomes smaller and smaller. And that limiting value in the last column, when the time interval becomes very, very small, that will be the instantaneous velocity, that is dx by dt at t equal to 4 second. This is how the limiting process can be understood, okay, using numerical method. Okay. So, this is graphical method. So, you are going to use the graph, position time graph. This is not a convenient method to visualize or to get the, because you must plot the graph with at most care, okay, that is not a easy task. Okay. So, this is how instantaneous velocity is defined. Okay. It is the limit of average velocity as the time interval becomes infinitesimally small, or as the time interval approaches 0. Okay. It carries the same unit, meter per second, okay, velocity, average velocity, instantaneous velocity, and we never use instantaneous every time. Okay. We never use instantaneous velocity, we never call instantaneous velocity, we simply call it as velocity. We often omit the term instantaneous, we simply call it as velocity. Okay. Unless otherwise it is specified, it is understood. If someone say velocity, that is understood, instantaneous velocity at a particular instant. As the name suggests, so this is how we define, okay. But our common sense says, as the name suggests, instantaneous velocity, velocity of an object at a particular instant. That is all. Okay. During the time interval, body is moving, okay, over a time interval. Okay. So, at a particular instant, what is the velocity of the body? That is all about instantaneous velocity. Okay. Let me write this. Now, I can write the velocity time graph for the same situation. Okay. Last class we have discussed a car starts from rest, from the origin, it picks up its speed till 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds till 20 seconds, say 20 seconds, it moves with uniform velocity or constant velocity. Then brakes are applied. After 20 seconds, it starts to move with decreasing velocity, and eventually it stops at the end of 22 seconds after traveling a distance of, say, 300 meter. For the same situation, I am going to draw the velocity time graph for the entire situation. So, you are all familiar with the position time graph. Similarly, velocity time graph, okay, we call it as VT graph, velocity time graph, is obtained by plotting velocity, okay, which will be in meter per second in the one axis, that is a y axis, and the corresponding time will be in second in the x axis. A graph obtained by plotting velocity of an object at different instants along the y axis and the corresponding time along the x axis, you will get a graph, Okay, that graph is called as velocity time graph. This is very useful. Okay, we are going to draw velocity time graph for different situations in this class, simple situations. Okay. Now, for the situation as I discussed. Okay. So, I am going to write the velocity time graph for this situation. Okay. Now, okay, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, enough. Okay. Okay. 5 meter per second, 10 meter per second, 15 meter per second, 20 meter per second, 25 meter per second, 30 meter per second, 35 meter per second, and so on. Okay. You all know car starts from rest, okay, from rest. It picks up its speed till 10 seconds. It picks up its speed, its velocity increases, but not uniformly. Okay, not uniformly, its velocity increases. Okay. Then from 10 seconds to 20 seconds, it moves with constant velocity. Okay. After 20 seconds, okay, it starts to move with decreasing velocity, uniform decrease, and eventually it comes to rest. Okay. So, graph will go like this, okay, from 0 to 10, okay. It will be going like this, it is a curve. Okay. Okay. This is the graph, this is the VT curve. Okay. Velocity increases. 10 to 20 seconds, its velocity is constant, it is constant. Okay. Then brakes are applied, at the end of the 20-second brakes are applied, okay, and car starts to move with the decreasing velocity, okay, decreasing velocity, and eventually it stops. Okay, like this, uniform decrease, it's a straight line. This is 22. So, from 0 to 10, okay, velocity picks up, it picks up its speed, that is its velocity increases, and 10 to 20 seconds its velocity is uniform. See, it is a straight line parallel to the time axis, and after 20 seconds brakes are applied, its velocity decreases uniformly, and eventually car stops. Okay. The end of 22 seconds it stops after traveling a certain distance. Okay. So, this is the velocity time graph for the situation, total situation. So, this is a curve, velocity is increasing. So, this is a straight line, okay, velocity, see wherever you see from 10 to 20 seconds it is moving with a uniform velocity, say some it is between 25 to 30 in my graph, okay, and finally its velocity after 20 seconds its velocity decreases uniformly, and finally at the end of 20 seconds its velocity becomes 0. The point is on the x axis, the value of y is 0, x means time, 22 seconds, velocity of y means here velocity, okay, the value of y means velocity. So, at 22 seconds, okay, its velocity becomes 0, means it stops. Okay. So, this is the velocity time graph for the situation we considered. Okay. There are important features, okay, for a velocity time graph. Let us discuss the two important features of a VT graph, useful features. One is slope of the VT graph represents acceleration. Slope of the VT graph represents acceleration. Okay. Second one, area under the velocity time curve, Vt graph or Vt curve. Okay. Area under the Vt curve represents, for any body which is in motion, area under the Vt curve represents the displacement over that interval, Okay. We are going to use these two important features of a Vt graph for our further discussions. Okay. Slope of the xt graph we have discussed, slope of the position time graph represents velocity. Similarly, slope of the Vt graph represents acceleration. Okay. Then area under the Vt graph or Vt curve represents the displacement. The general proof of this statement actually requires calculus, okay, use of calculus, but however, we can easily see the statement, okay, with a very simple example. Consider a car which is moving, okay, on a road with constant velocity. Okay. I can write here. This is velocity, okay, this is time. Consider a car which is moving, okay, on a straight line with the constant speed, say u meter per second. It is moving with constant speed, okay, till say t seconds, capital T. This is the velocity time graph for an object which is moving with constant speed or constant velocity u. Okay. Now, the area under the Vt curve represents displacement. See, this is the Vt curve, the area under the curve. Okay, this is the curve, the area under the curve with the time axis. So, this is the area. Okay. So, actually I can give some letters O, A, B, C. Okay. So, O, A, B, C or area under the Vt curve is nothing but the area of the rectangle, okay, area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle that is area under Vt curve. Area under the Vt curve equal to area of the rectangle O, A, B, C. Okay. Situation is body or any body, car or anything is moving on a straight road with a constant speed, constant velocity u for a time interval t seconds. Okay. Area of the rectangle you all know. Okay. So, length. So, you can take length, this is breadth or so base into height. Okay. So, this is t. So, O C into O A, that is O C is time t, okay, t seconds, and O A is u, correct. This is u, this is t seconds, correct. This is time, this is velocity. So, velocity into time, this is velocity, this is time. What is velocity? Definition, just definition. Velocity is displacement over time. Velocity into displacement, velocity into not displacement, sorry, velocity is displacement over time. Now, velocity into time will be displacement. So, this is velocity, this is time. So, this will be displacement. So, the area under the VT curve no doubt is representing the displacement over the time interval. We are going to use this idea, okay, this idea or this feature of the VT graph in our further discussion. So, while deriving kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion, so we are going to use both the ideas. Slope of the VT graph represents acceleration, area under the VT graph represents displacement. So, if you observe the units, okay, so I think that will make the point very clear. This will be in second, this will be in meter per second, okay, meter per second into second, that quantity will be in meter. Yes, exactly. Displacement is nothing but the distance travelled in a particular direction. So, that is measured in meter. Simple. This is not the proof, as I said, okay, for the general proof we go for calculus, okay. So, it requires calculus idea, but through the simple example, okay, area under the VT graph for any body which is under motion represents the displacement over the time interval. I am going to use, okay, this idea in the further discussions while deriving kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, so, this is something about instantaneous velocity, that is instantaneous speed. As the name suggests, instantaneous speed. The speed of the object at a particular instant is called as instantaneous speed. Imagine the instantaneous velocity of a car, say 10 meter per second plus. So, at a later instant, let it be minus 10 meter per second. Instantaneous velocity plus 10 meter per second. The later instant, imagine its instantaneous velocity is minus 10 meter per second. Now, the instantaneous speed in both the cases would be 10 meter per second only. So, this is a scalar quantity, no doubt it is speed, okay, defined using distance. So, this is instantaneous velocity. So, it is a vector quantity. So, that is why we have used plus or minus. Okay. The magnitude of instantaneous velocity is nothing but instantaneous speed. Whereas, in the last class the magnitude of average velocity may be equal or may not be equal to the average speed. So, we have concluded that the average speed may be greater or equal to the magnitude of the average velocity, whereas instantaneous speed will be exactly equal to the magnitude of instantaneous velocity. Why? Why? Because instantaneous means you will be at a particular instant. You are going to consider the motion of any object at a particular instant. At a particular instant, body will be having one particular direction. So, the direction will not change. That is the reason why the instantaneous speed and the magnitude of instantaneous velocity will be one and the same, unlike average velocity and average speed. So, this is just idea about instantaneous speed. you can calculate instantaneous velocity that is V equal to dx by dt, okay, using this definition. If you have the exact expression for x as say a plus b t square, where a equal to some constant say 2 meter and b is another constant equal to some 2.5 meter per second square. How you calculate the velocity, that is instantaneous velocity at t equal to 2 seconds and t equal to 4 seconds. Also you can calculate the average velocity, okay, between t equal to 2 seconds and t equal to 4 seconds. And between the time interval t equal to 2 seconds to t equal to 4 seconds. Okay. So, you can calculate as well the average velocity. This is a problem numerical. Okay. So, you will get this example, similar example in the worked out example of the NCERT book. Okay. X equal to a plus bt square. How do you do? V equal to dx by dt, that is the definition. V equal to dx by dt, that is differentiation of x with respect to time. Okay. V equal to t by dt of x. So, we have the exact expression for x in terms of t, that is a plus bt square, that is differentiation of this. You must know the differentiation, as I said, you please refer appendix part, or you may be knowing, or you are going to study about this in great detail in mathematics. So, how much idea, okay, is badly needed here. So, I will be telling d by dt of, okay, you split a plus d by dt of bt square, okay, a plus bt square split d by dt of a plus d by dt of bt square. So, a is a constant, differentiation of constant is 0, okay, that is the formula, and again b is a constant, constant comes outside, b d by dt of t square. Okay. So, differentiation of t square. So, you must know the formula, okay, there is a formula. So, d by dx of x per n, okay, differentiation of x with respect to x per, okay, with respect to x, differentiation of x per n with respect to x will be n into x per n minus 1. This is the formula, okay, this is the formula. D by dx of x per n will be n into x per n minus 1. So, here this is 0, b into t per, that is n into t, n into x per n minus 1, here n is 2, 2 into t per 2 minus 1, correct. Okay. That is 2, t per 2 minus 1 is t per 1, that is 2t, that is 2 into b into t. What is this? This is instantaneous velocity. So, meter per second, v equal to 2 into b into t. So, substitute the value of b, okay, v equal to 2 into b into t, okay, 2 into b, b is how much? B is how much? Say 2.5 my problem into t, that is 2.5 into 2, that is 5 into t meter per second. Now, we got the expression for instantaneous velocity, okay, 5 into t. Now, substitute the values, t equal to 2 seconds, at t equal to 2 seconds, okay, at t equal to 2 seconds, v equal to say v 1 equal to 5 into 2, that is 10 meter per second, v 1. Similarly, at t equal to 4 seconds, okay, say v 2 equal to 5 into 4, 5 into 4 is 20, okay, 20 meter per second, 20 meter per second. And average velocity, instantaneous velocity at t equal to 4 second is asked, at 4 second it is asked, calculated average velocity over the interval 2 seconds to 4 second. Therefore, I will write here average velocity average velocity equal to, you all know, delta V by delta T, that is V 2 minus V 1 over T 2 minus T 1, correct. Okay, V 2 minus V 1, V 2 at 4 seconds we have calculated 20 meter per second. This is T 1, this is T 2. Okay. So, at T 1 it is V 1, at T 1 it is V 1 10. Therefore, V 2 is 20 meter per second, V 1 is 10 meter per second, correct, divided by T 2 is 4, T 1 is 2, right, correct. T 1 is 2, T 2 is 4, okay, V 2 is 20, V 1 is 10, fine. So, 20 minus 10, that is 10, 4 minus 2, that is 2, okay, correct. Okay, 2 ones are 2 5s are, that is the answer will be 5, answer will be 5 meter per second. What is this? This is average velocity over the interval, okay, average velocity over the interval. So, this is how we can calculate, okay. So, as numericals we can calculate. If we, as I said, if we know the exact expression for position, okay, with respect to time, you can differentiate that V equal to dx by dt, that is the definition of instantaneous velocity, and by which you can calculate the instantaneous velocity general expression, then substitute the values, okay, time, corresponding time, you will get the instantaneous values at instantaneous velocity values at any instant, and also you can calculate average velocity. Okay. So, this is a just an example, okay, worked out example, okay, in NCERT book.